Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to our math online classroom. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Okay, so nasa module 2 na po tayo. Okay, so let's start with our lesson 1 that will talk about representing real life situations using rational functions. Okay, so these are examples of a real life situation na kung saan we will deal with rational functions. And the following are our objective. First, define rational function. And second, solve problem involving rational functions. Okay, so let's start. Okay, a rational function is the function of the form f of x is equal to p of x divided by q of x, where p of x and q of x are polynomial functions and q of x are not the zero function. So again, take note that our p of x and q of x are polynomial functions. Okay, so the domain of f of x is the set of all values of x where q of x is not equal to 0. So bakit hindi pwede na ang q of x natin will be equal to 0? Okay, so let's have this example. F of x is equal to 1 divided by 0. So kung gagamit mo yung calculator mo, 1 divided by 0, okay, so error yung lalabas kasi hindi siya pwede. So dapat yung ating q of x or yung kanyang denominator ay hindi pwedeng maging 0 or equal to 0. Okay, so again, remind ko lang ulit, our p of x and q of x must be or are polynomial functions. Okay? So ano nga ba yung polynomial functions? Okay? A polynomial function is a function defined by f of x is equal to a sub n x raised to n plus a sub n minus 1 and x raised to n minus 1 until we reach the a sub 1 and x plus a sub 0, where, of course, our a from a sub 0 to a sub n are our real numbers. So lahat ng a dyan, okay, are constants or real numbers. Okay? Of course, our a sub n must not be equal to 0. So hindi naman pwede na constant natin ay 0. And of course, our n is a non-negative integer. Our n or the exponent, okay, ng ating variable or the exponent of our x is a non-negative. So dapat lagi siyang positive. Kasi kapag yung exponent natin ay negative, it will give us different problem. Okay? So di ba nung grade 9 kayo napag-aralan nyo na kapag yung x is raised to negative integer or negative exponent, di ba ginagawa natin siyang denominator para maging positive. Let's say, for example, x raised to negative 2. So para maging positive yung negative 2, kailangan mo siyang 1 over x raised to positive 2. So yung negative 2, magiging positive, pero nagiging fraction siya. Okay, nagiging denominator. Okay, so this is an example of a polynomial function. F of x is equal to 3x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 2. So example yan ng polynomial function. Okay, another example is g of x is equal to 5x to the fourth power minus 2. Still, it's an example of polynomial function. Okay, so take note that polynomial can be a constant function, of course, in the form of mx plus b, where our m is 0 and our b is real numbers. It could be a linear function, nasa form pa rin siya na mx plus b, wherein our m and b are real numbers. It could be a quadratic function in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, tama ba yun? Okay, so again, pag quadratic, yung pinakamataas niya na exponent is squared or 2. Tandaan natin yan. Okay, for constant function, let's have this example. F of x is equal to 3. Okay, so still polynomial pa rin siya. Polynomial pa rin siya pero constant function. Another example, g of x is equal to 1/2. Okay, so constant function pero polynomial function. Okay, so for linear function, we have f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. So that is a linear function. Again, polynomial function pa rin siya. And of course, g of x is equal to 3/4 x minus 8, still a polynomial function. Of course, for quadratic function, we have f of x is equal to x squared. Again, basta squared siya, yung kanyang greatest exponent quadratic function. Okay, so we could also have g of x is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1 is a quadratic function pero again, it is a polynomial function. So bakit importanteng malaman yan? Kasi pag ang rational function, di ba, yung p of x tsaka yung q of x, or yung kanyang numerator and denominator are polynomial function. Okay, so dapat polynomial. Kasi pag hindi siya polynomial, hindi siya rational equation or rational function. Okay? So, let's try this. Okay, you identify, let's say for example, f of x is equal to 1 over x or 1 divided by x. Is it a rational function or not? Okay, rational function ba siya o hindi? Tingnan mo yung kanyang numerator and denominator. Of course, f of x is a polynomial function or a rational function because f of x is a constant divided by a linear function. So, ibig sabihin, yung numerator niya na 1 is constant. Ang yung kanyang ang nasa baba naman is x is a linear function. Therefore, it is a rational function pa rin. Okay? How about this one? G of x is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5 divided by x minus 3. Is it a rational function? Yes or no? Okay? Yes. Okay? Kasi g of x is a quadratic function divided by a linear function. So yung p of x niya or yung numerator is a quadratic. Yung nasa baba naman is a linear function. Both of them are polynomials rather. Therefore, it is a rational function. Okay? How about this one? H of x is equal to the square root of x plus 2 divided by x squared minus 4. Okay? So, titingnan mo yung numerator and denominator niya. Polynomials ba? Pag oo yung dalawa, edi rational function. Okay, so what's your answer? Is it a rational function or not? Okay, so it is not. Okay? H of x has a numerator that is not a polynomial. Polynomials do not allow the square root of the variable or variables. Okay? So, hindi siya rational function kasi yung kanyang numerator, tingnan niyo yung numerator niya, square root of x plus 2. Again, polynomials do not allow square root of the variables. Okay? So, hindi siya rational function. Next, I of x is equal to x plus 1 divided by 2 plus x raised to 1/2 minus 3x. Okay? Is it a rational function or not? Tingnan mo yung kanyang numerator and denominator. Okay, what's your answer? Okay, not. Okay? I of x has a denominator that is not a polynomial. Polynomials do not allow fraction as exponent. Ibig sabihin, our denominator there, x raised to 1/2, that makes the equation not a polynomial kasi ang yung x natin or yung variable x sa denominator natin ay may fraction. Again, polynomials do not allow fraction as exponent. So, our f of x and g of x are rational function while our h of x and I of x are not. Okay, are not rational function. Again, hindi pwede yung may square root, hindi rin pwede ang may fraction na exponent. Tandaan natin yan. Okay, so let's continue. So, in what real-life situations natin na-apply itong si rational function? Now, let's focus on the module or example in the module discuss natin. Let's have example number 1. An object is to travel a distance of 10 meters, express velocity v as a function of travel time t in seconds. Okay? So yung distance daw is 10 meters. Hanapin daw natin, gagawa daw tayo ng function of velocity as respect to our time or t in seconds. Okay? Way back with our physics subject, na-discuss natin na velocity is the quotient of distance divided by time. Di ba? Yan sa physics natin. Yan yung kanyang formula. So yung gagawin natin is gagawa tayo ng set of tables. Our t in seconds are 1, 2, 4, 5, and 10. So example lang yan. We will set value for t. Ibig sabihin, our t here is our domain. Okay? Or yung x natin. So v of t kasi nga in respect to, kasi sabi dito, velocity v as a function of travel time. So v of t. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung velocity using this formula or function. Okay? So, let's start. For our v of 1, of course, our distance is 10 and our t or time is 1. So yung denominator natin will be 1. So 10 divided by 1 will give us 10. And that will be our value for velocity in the first column. Okay? First column below 1. Okay? Yan yung ating value. Next, for our v of 2 naman, v of 2, meaning the value of t is 2 after 2 seconds. Of course, our distance is 10 and our t is after 2 seconds. So 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. Okay. And for 4 naman, we have, of course, v of 4. 10 divided by 4 will give us 2.5. Okay. So 2.5 meter per 2.5 meters per second, excuse me. And of course, for 5, same process lang din naman. Papalitan natin yung denominator ng 5. 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. And 10 divided by 10 will give us 1. Okay? So, yan yung kanyang application. So, very good idea kapag meron kang knowledge about rational function, di ba? Kasi like that, the example na between velocity, no, nagagamit natin siya. Okay? So, how would you interpret the table? Yung t seconds at yung v meter per second ay napapansin nyo. So, from 1 second to 10 second, yung velocity ng object ay pababa ng pababa. Okay? So, kung sa 1 second, mabilis siya. So, habang tumatagal, lalo siyang humihina. Habang tumatagal, lalong humihina. Siguro nauubos na ang kanyang strength. Saan all my strength? Okay, next. Let's have example number. Okay. The function v of t is equal to 10t represent v as a function of t. So, kailangan marunong kayong gumawa ng equation. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay, next. Let's have example number 2. Suppose that C of t is equal to 5t divided by t squared plus 1. Of course, it should be in milligram or milliliters. Represents the concentration of a drug in a patient's bloodstream t hours after the drug was administered. Construct a table of values for C of t for t is equals to 0, 1, 2, 5, and 10. Round off the answers to 3 decimal places. Use the table to sketch a graph and interpret the results. O dito parang doctor ka naman. Diba? So sabi dito, mag-i-inject ka daw ng drug, okay, sa katawan ng tao. So aalamin natin yung kanyang concentration. Doctor tayo ngayon. Okay? So, of course, we will set tables. Okay? For our T, we'll have 0, 1, 2, 5, and 10. Okay, hours basta? Yes, hours. Okay, so hanapin natin yung our C of T or concentration of drug over time. Okay, so habang tumatagal, gaano kalakas ang concentration ng drug na ini-inject sa katawan. Okay, of course, we will make use of the equation C of T is equals to 5T divided by T squared plus 1. Again, given yung ating equation. Okay, so let's start with 0. Okay, so ibig sabihin pag 0, wala. Ibig sabihin hindi ka pa nag-inject. So may solve na ba concentration? Simply wala din. So kapag 0, ibig sabihin hindi ka pa nakapag-inject, so wala pang concentration na pag-aaral. So 0. Okay? Let's try naman. Nag-inject ka after 1 hour. Okay? Nag-inject ka after 1 hour. Okay? So yung gagawin lang natin dito, we will make use of the formula and then yung T, papalitan lang natin ng 1. Kasi our T here is our domain. So yung T papalitan natin. So yung T sa taas at yung T sa baba papalitan natin. So 5 times 1 will give us 5. 1 squared will give us 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we'll have 5 divided by 2 will give us 2.5. Again, nagets nyo ba yun? Yung T, papalitan lang natin ng 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. 1 squared is 1 plus 1 will give us 2 in the denominator. So 5 divided by 2 will give us 2.5. So after 1 hour, the concentration of the drug in the human body is 2.5. Wow, stick. Okay, so how about after 2 hours? Okay, so C of 2, of course, yung T papalitan ng 2. So 5 times 2 will give us 10. 2 squared will give us 4 plus 1 will give us 5. So 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. Okay, so after 2 hours, yung concentration niya is 2. Okay, 2 milligram or milliliter. Okay, yun siya. Sige, next. For 5, same process pa rin. Yung T papalitan natin ng 5. So 25 divided by 26, ganun pa rin. So 0.962. And for 10, of course, yung t papalitan ng 10, our final answer will be 0.495. By the way, sa module nyo kasi, medyo mali yata yung value dyan ng 2. Yung nakalagay dyan sa 2 is 3 yung sagot sa C of T. So, 2 dapat yan. Okay, baka typical error lang. Okay, so tapos na natin, meron na tayong set of values. So, ano yung gagawin natin? We will use the table to sketch the graph. Okay, mag-sketch tayo ng graph and of course, we are going to interpret the results. Wow, doktor na doktor talaga tayo at statistician pa. Sige, so we will sketch the graph. Okay, so meron tayong table, so gagawa tayo ng graph. Okay, yan na yung graph natin. Our x-axis or the horizontal line is our time, okay, habang tumatagal. And our horizontal line or yung patayo na line which is from 0 to 4 is our C of T. Okay, so isi-sketch natin yung graph. Yung parang nagsa-spotting-spottingan tayo sa ating Cartesian plane. Okay, so of course, so if our time is 0, of course the concentration is 0. So yan yung point natin. Nakita nyo yung kulay dilaw? Tingnan nyo doon sa kulay dilaw. Yan, tingnan nyo. Kita nyo yan. Huwag kayong tumingin sa akin. Doon kayo magtingin sa PowerPoint. Okay? Next. If our T is 1, our C of T is 2.5. So 1, ipapantay mo rin sa 2.5. Okay? So, yes, we have second tayo. Next, if our T is 2, our C of T is 2. Yan. Sige, nakita nyo yung point? Yan. Very good. Tingnan nyo mabuti. And if our T is 5, our C of T is 0.962. 0.962. Okay, so hindi siya umabot ng 1. So dito siya. Okay? So sa tapat ng 5 at sa 0.962. At kapag yung T natin is 10, our C of T is 0.495. So hindi siya umabot ng kalahati. Okay, so nakikita nyo yung mga dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So meron tayong 5 dots. So ito-trace na natin, lagyan natin ng graph. Okay, graph natin. Yan. Okay, so that is the graph of our example number 2 or in our table of values. Okay, so nakikita nyo, again, our T is the X and the axis and our C of T is our Y or yung the horizontal, vertical line. Okay, now, na-sketch natin yung graph, we will now interpret. Okay, paano mo siya i-interpret? Halimbawa, pag doktor ka, yan yung graph. Okay. Paano mo siya interpret? Sige nga. Okay, ito siya. The graph indicates that the maximum drug concentration occurs around 1 hour after the drug administered, and it suggests that the drug concentration decreases until it almost zero. Okay? So after 1 hour pala, doon na nag-start yung concentration. At kung napapansin niyo yung graph, habang patagal ng patagal, yung concentration ng drug bumababa ng bumababa. Okay? So sa palagay nyo, bakit bumababa siya habang tumatagal? Yung concentration ng drugs. Bakit siya bumababa yung kanyang concentration? Yes, very good. Kasi natutunaw siya, di ba? Nadidistribute siya sa ating bodies. Okay? Part of the bodies natin. So, nasiseparate siya. Therefore, yung concentration niya nawawala. Okay? Or nasiseparate. Alright? So, di ba? Parang doktor na rin tayo. Okay? So, hopefully naintindihan niyo yung example number 2 natin dyan sa ating module. Okay? Now, let's proceed with our example number 3. Okay, nangyayari dito sa totoong buhay. The distance from Manila to Baguio is around 250 kilometers. Talaga? So from Manila to Baguio, ang layo na daw is 250 kilometers. Assuming lang no, na pag pumunta ka, ikaw ay galing sa Manila, tapos punta kang Baguio, yung layo daw is 250 kilometers. How long will it take you to get to Baguio if your average speed is 25 kilometers per hour? So gaano daw siya katagal kapag yung bilis mo ay 25 kilometers per hour? Paano naman kapag 40 kilometers per hour yung takbo ng iyong sasakyan? At paano naman kapag 50 kilometers per hour ang bilis ng takbo ng iyong sasakyan? Okay, so we will apply, of course, our rational function ideas. Okay, so B, construct a function where is the speed of travel that describes the time it takes to drive from Manila to Baguio. So gagawa na tayo ng rational function. Okay, simple lang naman. Okay, so iisa-isahin natin. Let's start with letter A. Okay, sige. We all know that the distance is the product of speed and time. Diba? Sa physics natin na, solve for distance. Nalaman natin na, distance is equal to the product of speed and time. Diba? So, yan yung distance natin. Yan yung formula or formula ng distance. Okay? So, sagutan natin yung letter A. Sasagutan natin. Yung tanong kasi dito, how long? Okay? Pag sinabi natin how long, ano yung hinahanap? Is it distance? Is it speed? Or time? Pag how long, gaano kahaba, no? Of course, we are talking with time. Ibig sabihin, yung time, yung ating magiging f of x, okay? Or yung y natin, yung time yung magiging y natin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung time yung hanapin natin. So, pag nahanap, para mahanap yung time, yung gagawin natin is ano? Ililipat natin yung speed sa kabila. So, magiging distance divided by speed. Okay? Transposition lang. Transposition method. So, again, para mahanap si time, we will just divide distance and speed. Okay? So, ganun siya kasimple yung formula natin. So, pwede natin makasolve? Yes. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung time. Unahin natin yung 25 kilometers per hour. Of course, our distance is 250 kilometers and our speed na una is 25 kilometers per hour. So, gaano siya katagal? Hanggang kailan ka or gaano katagal yung ibabiyahe mo from Manila to Baguio kapag ang bilis mo ay 25 kilometers per hour na speed? Okay? So, 250 divided by 25. Of course, cancel natin yung kilometers para yung matira na lang is hour. So, gaano siya katagal? 250 divided by 25 will give us 10 hours. So, from from Manila to Baguio, at ang bilis mo ay 25 kilometers, so 10 hours kang magbabiyahe. Yan, bagal-bagal mo kasi mag-drive. So, 10 hours yung magiging biyahe mo. Alright, next. Try naman natin yung 40 kilometers. So, of course, our speed, our distance is constant. It is 250 kilometers. Yung speed natin, halimbawa, medyo nagbilis ka ng konti, naging 40 kilometers per hour na yung pag-drive mo o yung pagmamaneho mo. So, cancel natin yung kilometers. Sige. 250 divided by 4 will give us 6.25 hours. So, kapag 40 kilometers per hour mo, parang shorten mo yung time. Nagiging 6 hours and 25 minutes. Okay? So, 6 hours and 25 minutes na lang. Minutes ba? No. 6.25 hours na lang yung length ng time na ibabiyahe mo. So, from 10 hours to 6, almost 7 hours na lang. So, sige, bilis-bilisan mo pa. Try naman natin yung 50 kilometers. Binilisan mo pa ng konti. Of course, our distance is 250 kilometers. So, binilisan mo, naging 50 kilometers per hour na. Sige, kasi walang traffic. Okay, so cancel kilometers. 250 divided by 50 will give us 5 hours. So, yun, 5 hours na lang yung magiging length ng biyahe mo kapag 50 kilometers per hour yung speed ng iyong sasakyan. Okay? So, the faster na nagda-drive ka, the lesser the time. Okay? Sige, ganun siya kasimple. So, okay na yung letter A? Okay, so hopefully, naintindihan mo na yan. Lumalabas na yung mantika ako sa mukha. Sige, let's continue. Letter B naman. Construct a function where is the speed of travel that describes the time it takes to drive from Manila to Baguio. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-solve kasi sabi dito, mag-construct ka lang ng function. Okay? So, paano mo siya na-solve kanina? Of course, ganun pa rin. No? So, our time is, of course, distance divided by speed. Okay? So, sabi dito kasi, time where is speed of travel. So, ibig sabihin, yung domain mo dito is speed. Ibig sabihin, yung function mo magiging ano? T of S is equal to D divided by S. Okay? Yan yung magiging formula natin. T of S. So, bakit speed? Kasi sabi dito, where is the speed of travel that describes the time. Okay? So, yung speed mo will describe your time. Ibig sabihin, our domain is our speed and our f of x is our t. So, therefore, yung distance natin na constant, which is 250, Okay, and our S. Ibig sabihin, mag-solve ka lang naman ng time mo, depende sa speed. So parang ginawa natin sa A kanina. Yun nga lang kasi kanina, sa A kasi nag-solve tayo. Sa B kasi, yung hinihingi dito, construct a function lang naman. Magkukonstruct ka lang naman. Okay? So again, our domain here is our S, and our f of x is our t of s, or our time. Okay? So yan na. Okay, yan na yung function natin. Okay, so if may tanong kayo, mag-comment na lang kayo sa baba. Sige. Okay? So, that's it. Of course, our references, and of course, kung gusto niyo yung soft copy, just message me. Okay? Sige.